All right, cows, it's past your bedtime. Huh? Huh? Oh, I spent ages working on that. Oh no, the night time. Whatever am I going to do? I think I know. Best feature ever. It's so convenient being able to sleep the night away in peace, undisturbed. And look at that, it's morning again, and I can just pick up my bed and carry on. Unfortunately, it doesn't set my spawn yet, but that will happen soon enough. As you can see up here, I've also been working away. I've decided to build a kind of brick factory, maybe for pottery and brickwork and things like that. Unfortunately, bricks are very expensive because you have to travel out far into the world to find the clay and then smelt it all down, but I'm determined to do it. So I've been out on a few trips of the surrounding area to scoop up what I can, and I should have some more bricks in here. Yes, beautiful. So I should be able to carry this on. The idea here is that I'm hoping this will be a double-story building because I had a look at some brickwork photos, photos of old-style brick factories, and they tend to be quite high with pointy roofs. So we'll see if we have enough clay blocks for that. But in today's episode, we are going to be focusing on a few of the new features of Beta 1.3 and also going back over a few of the things that we've missed in terms of investigating the fancy Minecraft bed, because there's quite a lot to this and a few little bugs and issues that I want to explore today. One thing I've shown previously is this little trick here where you can delete the bottom half of the door, leaving only the top half if you place it next to a cactus. But one thing I haven't shown is that you can do this with any door type, including the iron door. So if I place a cactus down and then place a door next to it, we get the top half of the iron door. And I think the reason I haven't shown this yet, or used this yet, I should say, is because I'm not really sure how or where to actually use this, where it might actually look good in a build. My builds are pretty organic. There's a lot of wood involved here and not very much industrialization like this. So I need to find a place where I can use this, maybe somewhere subtle. I'll have to have a bit of a wander around and a bit of a think about it. Now, when you gotta go, you gotta go. So over here in the house, you may be aware that I have a little bathroom in here, complete with a little toilet. But there's no ventilation. And with the door closed, it can get a little bit pongy in here. Yeah, that's why I haven't taken you in here before, just because it gets a bit stale. But what we can do is we can install a little ventilation thing right here, I believe. So the way that we need to do this is to get a cactus here. I need to break this wall to allow me to place the cactus. And right here, blammo. Look at that. We have got a little ventilation thing right on the wall here. And if I put my wood back, boom, boom, get rid of these blocks here. Oh, a little exhaust fan right up there next to the toilet. Well, that was one creative way of using the iron door half block in this build. But now in the kitchen here, we need to do something else. Over here, we wash our hands in the sink, and we need to make sure that we're always clean. And to do that, we're going to make a little soap dispenser right here, or maybe just here on this block. To do that, we're going to exploit another similar trick, similar to that one there. What we're going to do is get rid of this block. We're going to place some sand and the cactus once again. And the cactus is kind of a weird special block. It allows us to do all sorts of strange things. If I take a lever and then hop up here and place the lever down on the side of the cactus, which of course, as we know, you normally can't do. Boom! It makes this funky lever block. It's a broken lever. Don't know what's going on there, but I can break this again and get rid of the sand block. Let's put our slabs back and hey presto! Look at that, little soap dispenser. And this lever actually works, and I can move it around like this. It's totally broken. I think it's half sideways, half not. I really don't know. It's similar to the buttons as well that we've done in other areas of the house. But look, soap dispenser. But what if you've been working out here on the docks all day or up in the log factory? It's hot, the days are long, you want to come out and have a nice, cool, refreshing sip of water. So, what if we just build a water fountain? Let's put a cactus here and another block here. And with the lever, we should be able to... Actually, what we want to do is place these blocks here. And then with the lever, we should be able to put that here. And boom, look at that. Get rid of you. We've got ourselves a little water fountain. It's a little bit tall to be practical, but that's Minecraft limitations for you, right? It's beginning to feel a lot like this house is now largely complete. Most of the interior is done other than a few tweaks here and there, but one of the places which I've neglected has been the garden. Well, fear no more. I have actually been working on this in between episodes, and look, it is now pretty much complete. Let me give you a little bit of a tour. It seems to be a little bit busy at the moment. I mean, they're all investigating all of the new features. But over here on this side, we have a classic green lawn where these guys like to hang out and cause trouble. Over here, we have a Japanese-style Zen garden, which if you look closely, you can see here has got the manicured waves in the sand here, which is done by raking of the sand, as well as a cactus and a little statue. And we've also used the door effect here on the rear wall, just to break up that texture a little bit. And of course, we have a little pond here as well. Now over here, this is the bit that I really like. This is the fire pit. This goes 24/7 and it's nice and cozy and warm. And we've used beds here to create the effect of some sort of benches going around the edge of the fire pit here. Sometimes animals find their way in and burn themselves to death, but we don't talk about that. Now up here behind the fire pit we have a little barbecue area as well going with some furnaces to cook all your stuff. But up here we have the interesting part, I would say. There's another deck there as you can see, and up on the deck we have a spa. Let's hop in. Oh yeah. So you can imagine just relaxing here in the evening with your nice warm spa and your bubbles giving you a massage, and as you pop out there's a little towel here to dry yourself off. And of course behind you we also have the sauna. It's a small sauna. Imagine these as being some rocks where you pour on the heat, or pour on the hot water and create the heat and the steam and just relax. And that was a bit of a last minute addition to this build, but I think that it works pretty well. So this is now the backyard. Quite happy with it, quite happy that I've actually completed the work here. And now I've just got the front yard. But we can worry about that later, because right now I want to have another look at one of these quirky bugs related to the bed. I'm in a brand new multiplayer world just to try something out here, because I know that there are issues with the beds when it comes to sleeping and mobs, and I think in a multiplayer server I'm more likely to encounter this because I've tried in single player, and although I have seen it happen, I just can't replicate it very well. So I thought I'd try here on a multiplayer server. Let's gather some resources and then I can show you a bit more about what's going on. So just imagine that I'm a survival player and I've just started out in my brand new world. Ignore the fact that my hotbar is full of all of those tools and beds, but actually let's just even get rid of all of that. We'll get rid of the beds because we don't need them. The rest can stay. If I was a new player, I would be gathering wood and I'd be crafting tools. And what I'd also want to do is make myself a bed, because the bed would allow me to sleep the night away, potentially anyway, on a multiplayer server, and get rid of all of the nasties that come out to try and kill us in the night. So let's get some plankage. Here we go. Now we need to get some sheep. I saw some over here, I'm pretty sure. No, your chicken. I'm pretty sure I saw some somewhere. I'll find them eventually. Aha, here we go. Okay, so the sheep are going to give us access to the wool that we need. Thank you very much. And one more from you. There we go. Okay, we've now got the materials we need to craft our bed. And we're going to build a little house to sleep in for the first night. Before the sun goes down, because it's rapidly going down, I need to get a little bit more wood together, and then we can build our first little shack for the night. Now, just like any new player, I'm out here exploring my world. Look, I found some pumpkins. Aren't I lucky? And I've noticed that, of course, well, the cows are in my way, but I've noticed, of course, that the sun is starting to set. But little do I know that the monsters are about to come out. So I'm going to continue exploring around here gather up a couple more pumpkins before I decide to perhaps head back to my home and sort out my finds, my goodies. I'm wondering at what point the monsters will probably start to appear. As I said, I'm just a new player and I don't know anything about anything. So the environment could come and attack me at any time. Oh, hello. Okay, there's one. All right. Let's run away from this thing before it kills me. Let's go back to the safety of our home. Where are you? There you are. All right. We're almost there. We've outrun the thing. And look, inside we go. We have a house guest. Let's get rid of it. Get rid of you. Out of the way. Thank you very much. Now, we can, of course, we're very safe in our house. The door is closed. We have walls all around us. And we can craft ourselves up a nice bed to sleep in. Let's get the wool there. I thought I saw a chicken in here. Okay. Now let's place the bed down and go to sleep. Ah, that's so much better. Oh, what? Who are you? Where did you come from? That was quite unexpected. Did you notice that? Look, it's still nighttime out there and I got attacked by a zombie. Now, where did he come from? All right, let's eat some food, recover, well, not very much health. Let's try and sleep the night away again. Ah, that's so much better. Far less frightening. We're in our safe house. Whoa, we're in our... No, this is my safety house. You're not supposed to get me. Oh, ow. Oh, F3, keyboard mashing going on everywhere. This is the stress that a new player would have experienced on their first night. All right, let's try one more time. We have to sleep this night away. Am I going to survive? No, I'm not going to survive. So the bed doesn't even save me from the night. Like, look, the night hardly even passed at all. In fact, where is my house? Found it. I just head off in the wrong direction and I couldn't see my torches. Okay, let's head inside quickly. Out of the way, please. Out of the way. Okay. Let's pick up all of my items. Let's try this again. We're going to go back to sleep. Oh, thank goodness for that. The safety of sleep. No. So there does seem to be some kind of bug in beta 1.3 where if you place your bed next to a wall which is exposed to darkness or spawnable spaces or something like that, then that can cause mobs to somehow appear next to your bed, even in a well-lit area like this where mobs should not normally be able to spawn. So this must have been pretty infuriating for players trying to use the beds for the first time and experiencing that they were basically a death trap. In fact, if I break the bed and I place it here in the middle of the room, I believe I should now be able to safely sleep the night away and the mobs will not be able to get in. And there you go. I was able to do it successfully and they're almost all dying. Why are you attacking me? It's daytime. You're supposed to be friendly. Thank you. I'm going inside again. So as you can see, the beds are a little bit of a death trap. Oh, that was close. So I'm just gonna stay here where it's safe. What a bully. Oh, I'm so glad to be home again. And while we're home, I want to have a look at a new change that was added into Minecraft Beta 1.3 related to Redstone. Here you can see I've set up a bit of a circuit with note blocks here so we can measure the signal, much like we did with the doorbell a couple of episodes ago. If you remember this was something that we created to allow us to introduce a delay in the way that the signal is transmitted from here and through this and then out to the other side. This introduces a 2-tick delay because it takes 1 tick to invert the signal through here and turn the signal off, and then it takes another tick to invert the signal here and turn it back on over here. So if I stand on the pressure plate, you see that little delay that we get? That's a 2-tick delay. Now over here, there's nothing in the chain at all, so the redstone power should be transmitted along this wire to both note blocks at exactly the same time. And they are. But what we can now do is we can craft one of these, basically, the repeater. So let's head over to the crafting bench here and get ourselves some stone. Now a repeater is crafted with 3 stone across the bottom, a redstone torch here and here, and then a redstone dust in the middle, just like that. And we get ourselves a redstone repeater. So now if I put this in the circuit, let's say right here, what this does is it allows me to control how many ticks worth of delay there are when the signal is passed through this repeater block. So again, let's hear the delay. This is a 2-tick delay. Let's hear the delay through the old repeater that I made. And then through this one. Notice how there is a delay, but it's much quicker. And that's because this is a 1-tick delay. But this has settings, and I can change it to 2, 3, and 4. So if I put it back to this setting, setting number 1, it's the 1-tick delay. This is a 2-tick delay. So again, it's about the same time delay as this circuit over here. And I can change it to 3 and 4. So I can control the amount of delay that this repeater will delay the signal by, and that means that making music is actually a lot better and you have a lot more control. But later in the game we'll also be able to use that delay for some more complex circuits as well. And if I want to, I can add another repeater into the chain so that I can control with great detail exactly how many delays I want. So if I change them both to be 4, that should be double the delay of the last delay. Yep, and it is. Now check this out, we can use the redstone repeater to help us transmit signal further. You might notice that this redstone dust is completely black, and that's because it doesn't have any signal at all. And if I stand on the pressure plate and activate the circuit, you can see that it glows red. Where the signal is at its strongest, i.e. here where the signal has come out of the pressure plate, it is also at its brightest. And over here where the signal is at its weakest is where it is the least bright. Now the signal can transmit only 15 blocks at a time, so there's just enough power to reach that note block there, but not enough power to reach that note block over there. In fact, if I take an item and throw it on the pressure plate, we can go over and have a look. So the signal just stops itself right here. This is the 15th length of the wire, and it cannot transmit any further. But what we can do is we can take a repeater and put it in the wiring here somewhere in order to reboost the signal. In fact, I can even put it right here at the end if I want. Notice how it inputs the weakest signal and then repowers it, retransmits it at its fullest right here in the next line across. So what that means is that we can actually retransmit a signal for as long as we want just by using repeaters. Now, adding the repeater does add a 1-tick delay whenever the signal gets transmitted. So if we want to make sure that that's evened out, we can just add another repeater into the mix right here. Let me show you what I mean. If I remove this bed and stand on the pressure plate, there should be a little delay between the 2 note blocks. See that? That was introduced by the repeater, but just by adding another one in this direction, we should now have evened that out. Perfect. The other way that I could do this is just by getting rid of these 2 here and putting the repeater somewhere further back in the chain. For example, I don't know, right here, right? In fact, it's a little difficult on these corners. Let me show you why, because I think by doing that, the wire will no longer turn into that repeater. So it has to be somewhere specific, and none of these places actually have it. So it's probably best if I do it right here, right at the beginning, if there's just enough strength. And there is. Let me just have a closer look at that by activating the circuit. And the reason is because as soon as I put the repeater in, it resets the signal to its strongest, which is just enough to reach both note blocks at either end. In fact, it's more than enough to reach this one and just enough to reach that one. Right, that's enough redstone mechanics for the day, I think. I've had enough redstone. I don't know about you. Now, before we wrap up today's episode, I just want to have a quick look at a couple of other minor changes added to Beta 1.3. The first has to do with sandstone. Sandstone now naturally generates throughout the world. In fact, anywhere that you find sand that naturally generates, you should find sandstone blocks underneath it. So for the desert that we have out there, that desert was pre-sandstone. So if you dig down the sand, you should find probably just dirt or stone directly underneath the sand. And the other one is gunpowder or sulfur. This was previously known as sulfur. It has now been officially renamed to gunpowder. look, the sun is going down. So I'm going to continue working out here for a while and build up this factory layout a little bit more, although I'm desperately low on bricks again, so I think it's going to be a slow burner, this build. I'll probably just continue to build it as and when I find the clay and can smelt up the bricks, but I'm going to be enjoying seeing this one come together over time. But that's it for today's episode, so I want to say thank you very much for hanging around, thank you for the view, and of course, an extra special thank you to my amazing patrons. Your support is always, as always, greatly appreciated. If you want to join Patreon, there are links to that down below. There are also links to the Discord and some other things, bits and pieces, all down there in the description. Thank you once again, and I shall see you in the next episode. Until then, this has been bugmancx. You've been watching Minecraft: The Journey. Bye-bye!